Okay. Hi, Bryon. How are you?
Hello, I'm very good. I'm glad to be on your show.
Well, thank you for coming on. It's nice to have you here. We're going to be talking about your book. You've got a book called A Natural Afterlife Discovered. Have you published other work, or is this your first one? Or
Actually, this is my second book. I published another one in 2009, and this was by invitation from Springer. But it was a book on database management systems, modeling, and things like that. Very technical, very computer scientist-ish, okay?
oh, so absolutely nothing like this book.
Nothing.
Okay. What got you
By the way,
interested?
that was easier to write than this one was.
Well, this is dealing with the afterlife, which is a big topic. What got you interested in this particular topic? Did you have an experience, a personal one?
No, I did not. I read about others having experiences, near death experiences, but what my path toward this was I retired early from computer science, being a professor. I did that because I kind of got tired of the technical aspects, all the idiosyncrasies of learning new systems all the time because it's such a fast-paced discipline. And I wanted to spend some more time in life, in my retirement, reading more about history, philosophy, religion, psychology, looking at the big questions of life. And so that's why I retired early at, I think I was 63 when I retired. And so for the past 12 years or so, that's what I've been doing. It's kind of my retirement hobby.
Well, how does one research this? I mean, there's a lot of information written, but
Okay, well, let me go get into exactly why I started on this whole subject of the afterlife. Okay, I think it was about the end of 2012. I woke up from a dream, and I got lots of weird dreams I have, but for the first time in my life, I asked myself the question, what would have happened if I had never woken up? How would I know the dream was over? And my immediate answer was, I don't think I, how would I? How would I ever know that dream was over? Because you never know a dream is over until you wake up. But suppose you never do. How will you ever know it's over? And so this got me thinking about other human experiences that are kind of similar to this. Um, you're watching a movie on TV, and unknown to you, you fall asleep. Well, when do you know that you fell asleep? I ask you the question.
well, and you don't until you wake up. Is your to your
Well, until
point,
you wake up.
right?
But again, suppose you never wake up. How will you ever know you're not watching that movie? Okay, one more no, yeah, two more human experiences. I'm going to try to present this new theory, kind of the way I developed it and the way it evolved. I won't tell you what the theory is yet. I'll let you maybe try to figure it out because it's not rocket science. So here's another human experience that provides what we call a thought experiment, okay? Have you ever gone under general anesthesia?
Yes,
When do you know you're not on that operating table?
when you wake up.
When you wake up in the recovery room. But again, the old question comes, suppose you had never woken up. How would you ever know you're not on that operating table? Okay, one more thought experience. Thought experiment before we get into more of the, I would say, the cognitive science aspects of this theory that support the theory. Uh, you've heard of near-death experiences, I
Yeah,
think, correct?
yeah.
Okay. And a lot of people, wake up from these, they recover, somehow they survive from their near death, and they wake up and they wake up to tell about it. And some of them say that they actually thought they were in heaven. They were peaceful, they were content. Some of them say they were in the presence of God. And they're actually disappointed when they wake up because they say, oh, I'm not in heaven. I wish I would never woken up. And a lot of times it changes their lives once they have this experience, okay? Well, suppose they never wake up. Suppose they have their near-death experience. They believe they're in heaven. They're happy. They're content. They're surrounded by love, but they never wake up. How will they ever know they're not in heaven? Again, I say, my inkling is that they would never know they're not in heaven.
My
Okay?
only question to this is that when you're asleep, the body is still functioning, albeit
Correct.
at a slower pace.
Correct.
When you're
Correct.
dead, the body is not functioning.
Correct.
So does the brain require the body to function in order for it to function as well?
Yes. Okay. This theory is this natural afterlife that I'm talking about is timeless, which means nothing happens. Okay? You simply die believing you're in heaven, and you never know otherwise. But nothing happens. Okay? But you don't know that nothing happens. Okay, now you're getting me in. I got to get into the cognitive science aspects of this, what supports it. Okay, so time is limited, so I'm going to go over this real quick. Okay, we experience consciousness as a stream of conscious moments. They're discrete moments that our brain produces. It produces about 20 to 25 of these conscious moments per second. Okay, we think our consciousness is continuous, but it's not. It's made up of these 25 per second conscious moments. Your brain renders these by taking the central input it gets stuff from your memory, okay, and it combines these and produces these conscious moments. It's exactly like the frames within a film, or the images that flash on your TV to make you, they flash about 50 to 60 times a second. They make you think that what's going on is continuous, but it's not. It's actually about 50 or 60 images flashing on your screen real fast per minute. Okay? Now, every one of these conscious moments is discrete, which means it's like a snapshot, a selfie. Okay? Every one of these conscious moments contains it's kind of like, it contains noise, a little bit of noise. It contains the video, essentially, what your eyes may see, your smells, and one very important thing, your sense of self is within these moments. Your sense of time is within these moments. And because we have self-awareness as humans, not just awareness, but self-awareness, when we have an experience, we know that we ourselves are experiencing this. Because of this, these conscious moments carry with them feelings and emotions that have been aroused by previous conscious moments. Okay? So one of these conscious moments is like a selfie. It's a snapshot in time, but it contains more than just the video, okay? It contains sound, it contains smell, noise, all these things in a snapshot, and your emotions. One other thing that these conscious moments contain is in each one of them, you anticipate another conscious moment to come. Like right now when I'm talking to you, I believe that in the next few conscious moments, actually seconds, I will still be talking to you, okay? So that's the cognitive science. Oh, one more very important thing I can't leave out. The only way you ever experience or become aware of anything is through these conscious moments. And if you don't get a conscious moment, It's not going to change your awareness of the present, the current moment that you're on. You know, there's past moments, there's present moments, and there's future ones, okay? You are operating in the present moment right now. Of course, it changes, it gets replaced all the time, okay? So now let's go back to one of these thought experiments. So let's do the general anesthesia one. When you're on that operating table, these conscious moments are flashing in your mind. And of course, what you see is the nurses, the doctors, the mask perhaps over your face, things like that. Okay, but all of a sudden, you fall asleep, pass out. You don't know when you passed out. There's no conscious moment that tells you you've passed out. Just like you never know when you fall asleep. There's no moment that tells you when you fall asleep. So what happens is you enter now a period of timelessness, where there's no more conscious moments. There's no more events. And it's events that make up our sense of time. None of that happens. But you are paused in your last present moment until you wake up. Because when you wake up, you get a new present moment, an awake moment, that replaces your last present moment. Behind this theory is the fact that when you enter a period of timelessness, falling asleep without dreaming, general anesthesia, where you don't experience any time, you are paused in the last conscious moment of your last experience until you wake up. And when you wake up, I often do this. I will wake up from a dream and I will say, oh, man, I'm so glad I'm not in that dream. I'm so glad I'm here in my bed. And, you know, it was a frustrating dream or something like that. I still have the emotions and feelings that I had in that last conscious moment before I fell asleep or before my dream was over. Okay, now, I think any questions before I tell you exactly what the theory is?
Well, unfortunately, we've got about a minute left. Can you do it in a minute?
Oh, wow. Okay, real quick. So the theory states that when you die, you are paused in your last conscious moment of your last experience. And you will never know that that last experience is over, okay? So, two major ramifications of this theory. One is there's no such thing as non-existence with death. You will be paused in your last conscious moment. You retain your sense of self. Number two, it is possible to experience a heaven of utmost happiness because you can be paused in the last moment of your near-death heavenly type experience. Okay? And you can be very, very happy, and nothing's ever going to change that because you are paused now. Nothing else is going to happen to change that. But you don't know that nothing else will happen because you anticipate more heavenly moments to come. Two big ramifications. This theory should reduce tragic suicides and mass shootings because people should know now, if they know this theory, that when they die, they are not going to eliminate themselves. The self never dies. They will be caught in their last experience. Okay? And I believe it will make the world a better place to live because people don't know, well, what's my last experience going to be? Who determines my dream? Who determines, or what determines my near-death experience? Is it God? Could be. Is it nature, cause and effect? We don't know. So it brings back the mystery of death. And there can now be accountability with death. So that's the important ramifications of this theory and why it can make for a better world.
We do have to wind this down. I'm sorry we are out of time.
Time just flew by.
It did. Thank you for coming on this show. The last question, do you have a website you want to give out?
Yes. That will be Bryon Ehlmann, My first name, my last name.com. So BryoEhlmann.com.
Okay, great. And there's information there about the book and what
Oh,
you're doing, yeah,
yes,
all
much
that.
information.
Okay. Well, Bryon, thank you so much for coming on the show. This is a
And
big
thank
topic
you.
to
I enjoyed it.
big topic to try to cover in 15 minutes, but I
Big
think we got
topic.
a good idea.
Many aspects to it.
Okay, take care. Best of luck.
Thank you.